What if I told you one of the most important creatures on Earth can literally kill its own family, sacrifice itself without hesitation, and communicate through dancing? And somehow that's only the beginning. Because inside a honeybee colony, things are far darker, smarter, and stranger than most people realize. By the end of this video, you may never look at bees the same way again. Fact 1. Bees can recognize human faces. Sounds impossible, right? But honeybees can actually remember and recognize human faces. Not because they know people like humans do, but because their brains are incredibly efficient at pattern recognition. Scientists discovered that bees can be trained to identify facial structures just like recognizing flowers. Which means, if a bee sees you often enough, it may actually remember you. Imagine being remembered by a creature with a brain smaller than a sesame seed. 2. A bee colony has one queen, but she doesn't rule. When people hear queen bee, they imagine power, control, leadership. But the truth? The queen doesn't control the hive at all. Her main job is actually just one thing: lay eggs. Up to 2,000 eggs every single day. That's more than her own body weight. The worker bees? They do everything else: building, cleaning, protecting, feeding babies, even deciding when the queen needs to be replaced. Yes, the workers can literally overthrow their queen. 3. Worker bees are female. Here's something most people never realize. Almost every bee you see working, female. The workers, the defenders, the nurses, the builders, all female. Male bees called drones have one main purpose: to mate with the queen, and after that, they die. If they fail, sometimes the colony kicks them out to starve. Brutal. But in nature, efficiency is everything. 4. Bees dance to share secrets. No words, no sounds, no maps. So how do bees tell each other where food is? They dance. Seriously, it's called the waggle dance. A bee returns to the hive, starts moving in a special pattern, and somehow tells thousands of others where the flowers are, how far they are, even the direction based on the sun. It's basically GPS, invented by insects. 5. A bee can die protecting the hive. When a honeybee stings, it usually dies. Its stinger gets stuck. And as it flies away, part of its body tears apart, meaning that sting is basically a suicide mission. And yet, they still do it without hesitation, to protect their family, their queen, their home, for a creature this small. That level of sacrifice is unbelievable. 6. The hive has its own security system. If an intruder enters the hive, the bees don't panic. They activate defense mode. Guard bees stand near the entrance, checking every bee that comes in. And if something dangerous enters, hundreds may attack instantly. But here's the crazy part. Sometimes they kill invaders using heat. They surround the threat, vibrate their bodies, and literally cook it alive. And trust me, what bees do to their enemies gets even darker, because the next facts reveal why some scientists call them tiny flying warriors. 7. Bees can count. Believe it or not, honeybees can actually count. Scientists found bees can understand small numbers and even recognize 0. Yes, 0. Something many animals struggle to understand. For a brain with less than 1 million neurons, that's mind-blowing. 8. Bees help feed the entire planet. Without bees, our world changes dramatically. Many fruits, vegetables, nuts, and crops depend on pollination. No bees means less food, higher prices, weaker ecosystems. In some ways, your lunch exists because bees worked for it. I guess you can smell fear, sort of. Bees don't smell fear exactly, but they can detect chemicals, sweat, fast movement, carbon dioxide from heavy breathing. So when humans panic, bees may interpret that as danger, which can make things worse. Sometimes, staying calm literally changes everything. 10. Some bees kill their own queen. Yes, you heard that right. If the queen becomes weak, old, or stops producing enough eggs, worker bees may decide she's no longer useful. And then they replace her. Nature doesn't care about titles, only survival. 11. Honey never really spoils. This may be the strangest bee fact yet. Honey made by bees can last thousands of years. Archaeologists have found ancient honey in tombs, still preserved, still edible, Because honey naturally fights bacteria, meaning something made by bees can outlive entire civilizations. 12. Bees can die from exhaustion. And here's the most heartbreaking fact. Some bees work until they literally collapse, flying, collecting nectar, protecting the hive, again and again, until their wings wear out. Imagine working so hard. Your body simply gives up. For the colony, for the next generation. That's the hidden life of a honeybee. Tiny, fragile, but absolutely extraordinary. So now tell me, which honeybee fact shocked you the most? The dancing, the sacrifice, or the fact they can recognize human faces? Comment below. And if you'll never look at bees the same way again, subscribe for more unbelievable animal facts.